Good evening, friends. We are starting a new capsule in a series of GST on summon, inspection, search, seizure, and arrest provision. In this capsule, we are going to discuss what are the provision for inspection, search, and seizure. And these provision you must know as a taxpayer and tax consultant to handle and defend whenever such inspection search proceedings are initiated by government officials. Power of inspection is being given in the hands of any proper officer not below the rank of joint commissioner, and when he has reason to believe that. So he has a reason to believe, and he can authorize any other officer by GST INS-01, and they can initiate inspection in a given situation. Subclause A under section 67 subsection 1. There are four specific situations. As a taxpayer, you have suppressed your supply of goods or services. You have not disclosed the correct transaction. As against 100 rupees, you may have shown 80 rupees, 70 rupees suppressed. Second, you are stocking goods and which is subject to evasion of tax. Third, as a taxpayer, you may have availed ITC, excess ITC, which you are not eligible to avail. And last condition, a bigger and wider provision in the hands of GST officials. If there is any contravention of any provision of GST law or any rules made thereunder, such a wide power given for power of inspection can be initiated by GST officials. Subclause B under section 67 subsection 1. When as a taxpayer you are engaged in transportation of goods, or you are owner or operator of warehouse or godown, keeping the goods which is subject to evasion of tax, or keeping document, books and things in such a manner that it's subject to evasion of tax. These are the situations provided when power of inspection provided in the hands of any proper officer not below the rank of joint commissioner, even the officer authorized by the joint commissioner, vide form GST INS-01, inspection can be initiated by the department. For search and seizure under section 67 subsection 2, either pursuant to the inspection provisions which is being undertaken by the GST officials, search and seizure proceedings can be initiated by any proper officer not below the rank of joint commissioner, and it can be undertaken when goods are being stored and that are liable for confiscation, or document, books or things are kept in such manner which is subject to evasion of tax. Then search and seizure proceedings can be initiated. And seizure can be done for such goods or document, books or things which is liable and subject to evasion of tax. Then a seizure order to be issued in the form GST INS-02. In case it is impractical to seize, then order of prohibition can be issued by the department right from GST INS-03. So the owner of the goods or document, books or things should not dealt with such seized goods, order of prohibition, by GST INS-03. As a taxpayer or tax consultant, what you should do and you should know. First, if this inspection is being initiated, you must look at who are the officer and whether he is being authorized right from GST INS-01, which is authorized by the Joint Commissioner. I know these powers are wide power given on the pretext reason to believe, which is not disclosed anywhere. And even for any contravention of the provision of the Act, inspection can be initiated by the department officers. Such wide power in their hands. But precaution, you first look at the officer who are coming to your premises, whether they are having authority or not, you must look at. Second, if seizure is being done, take the seizure order INS-02 so that you know what all they have seized. In case it is only seized but they are not taking these goods or document books or things, then order of prohibition which must be issued in GST INS-03. Important precaution that during the search and seizure they normally execute a panchnama in front of witness, which is your officer who is present at the time of search and seizure. My point of submission here would be that you must make it a point that in panchnama you should not agree. I'm saying you should not agree to a point which you are saying not applicable to you. Even though you are being pressurized, sometime we are hearing in the market that ground level reality is that during panchnama we are being forced to agree for certain things. Do not get agree till the time you are confident of. So make sure if you are giving and writing and stating something in panchnama, you should agree for the things which you know for yourself. If you do not know, kindly rebut and say, I do not know about this particular thing. In case in panchnama you have given certain statement which you don't agree, later immediately you must rebut to the department. Say that this is being given on certain wrong pretext or context. Kindly revise your statement and rebut the allegations accordingly. Third and important one, I know search and seizure are initiated in the mind, in the pretext that there is certain evasion of taxes. But if you are an honest taxpayer and it is happening at your premises, that may happen for the classification. I know not many my clients, those cases I'm handling, even the search and seizure happening and department is collecting revenue just on the word that my product is chargeable to 18%, whereas as per GST rate notification, this is 12% GST rate item. So only confusion and dispute as per taxpayer it is 12%, as per department it is 18%, and differential tax are being collected without issuance of so-called notice. These things are happening in ground level. So what we should do, if these tax are being collected and you have paid either through credit account or cash account, kindly make a note and send a letter to the department that you do not agree with this classification and willing to go for litigation. So whatever you have deposited should not be considered as your acceptance that's chargeable to 18% GST rate. Maybe input tax credit. It may be alleged that you have taken credit which is otherwise not available to you. Having subjectivity. From department perspective, it may be excess credit availed, and from taxpayer perspective, it is eligible and correctly availed. But during search and seizure, as we are finding that we deposit some amount, you should rebut refute such things and write a letter to the department that you are not agreeing to such provision, not agreeing to the allegation, and not accepting the point which is being stated to you by the officials. Say, issue a so-called notice, we are going to fight it out, put it under litigation, let the subject matter be decided to the finality. So search and seizure provisions are such a provision where department always having reason to believe there is evasion of tax. So as an honest taxpayer, your take would be, if you are firm about your subject matter, kindly take it and defend your case to the best, the way you believe, like classification, like credit availment. So there are lot many factors which is happening around. I given just food for thought to get you prepared. But by saying so, I'm not diluting the intention of department. Departmental officials are sometimes correct, and we are finding lot many tax evasion cases happening in the country. They deserve right of inspection, search and seizure. But my humble submission, they should only go for such cases where they are having surety, not reason to believe, that there is a tax evasion. We, as an honest taxpayer, sometimes facing the fire of the search and seizure. That's the reason I'm creating each capsule for the knowledge of taxpayer and tax consultant to handle such cases. Prepare yourself in a manner where you can satisfy the department. Of course, these provisions are having two perspectives from two different eyes, but nevertheless, we need to prepare ourselves. So these capsules are only meant for get you prepared to handle search and seizure. Stay tuned for arrest provision, bailable and non-bailable offences. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.